The biggest limitation in life is rarely a lack of talent, opportunity, or intelligence. Most of the time, the real limitation exists quietly inside the mind. Many people spend years convincing themselves that they are not ready, not capable, or not worthy enough to pursue the life they truly desire. They settle into routines that feel safe because stepping beyond familiar boundaries feels uncomfortable and uncertain. Yet every dream, every achievement, and every transformation begins the moment a person decides to stop shrinking themselves to fit into fear. Inspired by the timeless mindset teachings connected to Dr. Joseph Murphy, this message is a reminder that the subconscious mind responds to the thoughts you repeatedly accept as truth. If you constantly tell yourself that success belongs to someone else, your actions will reflect hesitation and doubt. But when you begin feeding your mind with confidence, belief, and expectation, your entire outlook starts to change. The truth is that greatness does not appear overnight. It develops slowly through daily decisions, consistent effort, and the willingness to keep moving forward even when fear tries to hold you back. Every successful person once stood at the same starting line, filled with uncertainty, questioning whether they were truly capable of more. The difference is that they refused to stay trapped in self-doubt. They chose growth over comfort. They chose courage over excuses. Too many people wait for perfect conditions before taking action, but perfect conditions rarely exist. Waiting often becomes another form of fear disguised as preparation. The longer you delay your goals, the more your confidence weakens and your excuses grow stronger. This is why bold action matters. Action creates momentum, and momentum builds belief. Even small steps taken consistently can completely reshape a person's future. The moment you begin believing that your life can improve, your mind starts searching for opportunities instead of obstacles. Challenges no longer appear as permanent roadblocks, but as temporary lessons designed to strengthen you. This shift in thinking is powerful because the human mind naturally moves in the direction of its dominant thoughts. If your thoughts are filled with negativity and limitation, your results will mirror those beliefs. But if your thoughts are filled with possibility, faith, and determination, your actions will gradually align with that vision. You are not created to spend your life hiding your potential or living beneath your abilities. There is something greater inside you waiting to be developed, expressed, and shared with the world. The key is to stop underestimating yourself and start acting like your goals matter. Confidence is not something people are born with naturally. Confidence is built each time you face discomfort and refuse to quit. Every time you challenge fear, you become mentally stronger. Every time you believe in yourself despite uncertainty, you expand the boundaries of what is possible for your future. One of the most dangerous habits a person can develop is becoming comfortable with living below their true potential. Comfort may feel peaceful in the moment, but over time it quietly steals ambition, creativity, and confidence. Many people convince themselves that staying small is safer than risking failure, rejection, or disappointment. They avoid opportunities because they fear making mistakes or being judged by others. However, growth has never existed inside the boundaries of comfort. Every meaningful achievement requires a person to step into uncertainty and trust that they are capable of learning along the way. The teachings associated with Dr. Joseph Murphy often emphasize the incredible power of the subconscious mind and how repeated thoughts eventually shape behavior, habits, and outcomes. When individuals constantly focus on fear, weakness, and limitation, they unknowingly train their minds to expect struggle and failure. In contrast, when they consistently focus on possibility, confidence, and purpose, they begin creating a mental environment that supports success and personal growth. This transformation does not happen instantly, but every repeated thought plants a seed in the mind. Over time, those thoughts grow into beliefs, and beliefs influence every decision a person makes. That is why protecting your mindset is one of the most important responsibilities you have. Negative environments, discouraging voices, and constant self-criticism slowly weaken motivation and destroy momentum. Many people spend years listening to opinions that convince them they are incapable of achieving more. Eventually, they stop trying altogether because they begin believing those limitations are permanent truths. But the reality is that no outside opinion has the power to define your future unless you accept it internally. Your future changes the moment you decide to think differently about yourself and your abilities. The path toward reaching your full potential starts with personal responsibility. Instead of blaming circumstances, waiting for approval, or expecting life to become easier, successful individuals make the decision to take control of their mindset and actions. They understand that excuses may provide temporary comfort, but they never create lasting results. Progress begins when a person becomes willing to face uncomfortable truths and commit to daily improvement. Small disciplines practiced consistently often create the biggest transformations over time. Waking up with purpose, managing your thoughts, learning new skills, and taking action despite fear can slowly reshape an entire life. Many people underestimate the power of consistency because they focus too heavily on immediate results. They quit too early because they cannot yet see visible progress. However, personal growth often happens quietly before it becomes noticeable externally. Just as a seed grows underground before breaking through the surface, confidence and success develop internally before they appear in reality. This is why persistence matters so much. There will always be moments of doubt, setbacks, and challenges along the journey, but those moments are not signs to quit. They are opportunities to become mentally stronger and more disciplined. Every obstacle teaches resilience, patience, and determination. The person you become while pursuing your goals is often more valuable than the goal itself. When you stop playing small and begin believing that your life has greater possibilities ahead, you activate a level of energy, focus, and courage that can completely transform your future. There comes a moment in every person's life when they must decide whether they will continue living according to fear or finally begin living according to purpose. Many people spend years waiting for confidence to appear before they take action. But confidence is not something that arrives first. Confidence is created through action itself. Every time you take a step forward despite uncertainty, you teach your mind that fear does not control you. This is one of the most powerful mindset shifts connected to the teachings that inspired millions through the work of Dr. Joseph Murphy. The subconscious mind absorbs whatever thoughts are repeated with emotion and consistency. If a person repeatedly focuses on failure, lack, insecurity, and doubt, those thoughts eventually become mental patterns that shape daily behavior. But when someone intentionally feeds their mind with empowering beliefs, clear goals, and positive expectations, their internal world begins to change. Once the internal world changes, external results slowly begin to follow. This is why personal transformation always starts within. The world outside you often reflects the beliefs you carry inside yourself. If you believe you are weak, incapable, or undeserving, your decisions will unconsciously support those beliefs. You may avoid opportunities, delay important goals, or settle for less than what you truly desire. On the other hand, when you begin believing that you are capable of growth and success, your energy changes. You start speaking differently, acting differently, and responding to challenges with greater determination. The mind is incredibly powerful because it influences every habit, emotion, and decision in life. This is why protecting your thoughts is not optional if you want to reach your full potential. Too many people underestimate the damage caused by constant negativity, self-criticism, and comparison. Social pressure often convinces individuals to measure their worth against the achievements of others, leading to frustration and discouragement. However, every person's journey is unique, and comparing your progress to someone else only distracts you from your own purpose. Real growth happens when you focus on becoming better than you were yesterday, rather than trying to compete with everyone around you. Small improvements repeated daily eventually create extraordinary results. Even during difficult seasons, maintaining belief in yourself is essential because challenges are part of every meaningful journey. No successful person has reached greatness without experiencing obstacles, failures, or moments of uncertainty. The difference is that resilient individuals refuse to allow temporary setbacks to define their future. They understand that failure is not proof of weakness, but evidence that growth is taking place. Every setback contains lessons that can build wisdom, strength, and discipline if you are willing to learn from the experience instead of surrendering to it. The moment you stop fearing failure, you become far more powerful because fear no longer controls your decisions. Life begins to expand when you stop limiting yourself mentally and emotionally. There is far more potential inside you than you currently realize, but unlocking that potential requires courage, persistence, and self-belief. The future you desire cannot be created by remaining trapped in old habits, negative thinking, or comfortable routines. It requires a decision to rise above excuses and commit fully to personal growth. When you begin trusting your abilities and taking consistent action, you gradually become the person you were always capable of becoming.